everyone, it's Alyssa and welcome to You Can Learn Math.
Today we're talking about interval notation. This is one of those things that isn't super difficult, but we don't use it that often. So it's very easy to forget it in between the times you're asked to use it. When we're talking about interval notation, it is a way of representing a string of numbers, a section of real numbers. And this is going to be for a number line. So if I have, just your standard number line, very basic little number line, and I'm wanting to say I am going from -1, I'm including -1, and I'm going up to 2. Up until the time you learn interval notation, you're most likely going to do something like this. X is greater than or equal to -1 and less than or equal to 2. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It works. Interval notation is another way of showing that. And it uses brackets. And just so we're on the same page, brackets are the like that, and parentheses. It uses brackets and parentheses to show this same information, in this case that x is greater than or equal to -1 or less than or equal to 2. If you would have used a greater than or equal to sign or a less than or equal to sign, you're going to be using brackets. If it is replacing a greater than or less than, you're going to be using parentheses. So let's see this in action. So here, x is going from -1 to 2, and it's including them. It is a x is greater than or equal to -1 and less than or equal to 2. So we're going to use the brackets. We're going to put our two boundary numbers, if you will, the first and the last point of this range. We're going to put a comma between them. And then because they are included, it is a greater than or equal to, we're going to close it off with brackets. So far, so good, right? Well, what if we made a slight change? What if this here on the end, this was an open circle, and it was x is less than 2. It's not including 2. Well, the way you show that is you would not have a bracket on this side. You would have a parentheses. And that's your interval notation. So it's pretty straightforward. And I'm going to show you a few of the exceptions, the ones that may throw you a little bit for a loop. We want to put those in here so that they do not take you by surprise. Say it starts at 1 and it goes forever. How do we show that? There is no boundary number. We don't have a beginning number and an ending number. Well, it's infinity. It goes into infinity. But which infinity? We can have infinity to the right and infinity to the left. If you are talking about infinity to the right, you just use the infinity symbol. If you're talking infinity going to the left towards the negative numbers, you write it as negative infinity. Now, this is something that I always had an issue with. I thought, well, okay, so it's including all the numbers of negative infinity. So I'm going to use a bracket. Yeah, that's not the rule. If you, like me, are questioning this, I understand. But we have to, in order to get our answers right and to follow this notation that has been established, we have to do it this way. So here's how you would set this up. You would say, okay, my boundaries are negative infinity and 1. Anytime it is an infinity or negative infinity, you use a parentheses, not a bracket. That, to me, honestly, when the first time I learned that, I was like, but it's including it. It's all of it. Why isn't it a bracket? It just is. It's a parentheses. And on this end, we have an open circle on 1. It would be x is less than 1, not less than or equal to. So it's a parentheses on this side as well. The only other thing you're likely to see that may cause a little bit of questioning or like, how do I do this? Is when you have a split. You have two portions or more portions, two or more portions on this number line, and you need to represent both of them. For example, let's say we had a solid dot on 3 going to the right forever, and then we had an open dot on 1, and it went down to a solid dot on 2. You're going to write both of these notations separately as two separate things, and you're going to put, looks like a U in the middle, and it means the union of these two. It is both together. So let's try this. The first one over here on the left, our boundary numbers are -2 and 1. -2 is a closed circle. So it's meaning x is, in this case, greater than or equal to -2. It is that closed circle, so it gets a bracket. 1 is an open circle, so it gets a parentheses because it would be x is less than 1. Over on the right-hand side, this one over here, it starts at 3 and goes to the right forever. So our boundaries are 3 and infinity. 3 is a closed circle there. So it'd be x is greater than or equal to 3. So we get a bracket. And always when it is infinity or negative infinity, we use a parentheses. And then to show that it is all the numbers in both of these together, we put our symbol there, the U for union. And this can be many. You can have 3, 4, 5, however many different sections on this number line, and just make sure to combine them all with those U symbols in between all of them. And that is interval notation.
I hope you enjoyed that today. If it was helpful, useful in any way, please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.